I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
So you heard the comments from the ladies on The View. Of course, that kind of was the beginning of this firestorm.
Right.
They have apologized.
Right.
What do you think of their apology?
You know, I was told other people, you know, because people have asked me, what do I think? And there are consequences for what you say. And for me, they didn't apologize to me. They apologized to nurses all over America. So I love leaving it up to them. You know, they can decide how genuine they felt that it was, and they can decide what to do with that apology. I appreciate it, but it's just...
It all started when Carrie Underwood chose to sing at the presidential inauguration, which put her at the center of a national discussion. Carrie was more interested in the ability of music to unite people than in picking sides. She openly said, "I love our country, and I'm honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I'm humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future." But not everyone thought so. Now that it has progressed to a full-fledged trial in court, Goldberg and her pals are begging for their careers to be spared. Her declaration caused a rift among fans. She was accused of backing Trump's agenda by some, while others praised her patriotism and claimed her performance was a gesture of kindness at a trying time. Carrie didn't realize at the time that, despite the fierce social media criticism, her choice would set off a chain reaction that would finally highlight the fact that the queens of daytime drama had their own views and weren't holding back.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are.
As long as it's a free country and it holds,
Yes.
I would agree with everybody. It is a free country at the moment. I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
When Carrie's choice to sing at the inauguration became a heated topic, Joy Behar took the initiative to question her patriotism. She said, "I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time that you normalize this convicted felon." The comments continued after that. While some co-hosts thought Carrie's performance was a business choice, others contended that it was a show of cooperation or solidarity. Some argued that she was normalizing political objectives. After the episode's footage went viral, Joy's remark became a focal point of debate.
She says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this.
The segment sent the media into a frenzy. The internet escalated this into a full-fledged cultural conflict, as if the drama on air wasn't enough. People started attacking The View and accusing the presenters of media bias and harassing country musicians as the discussion shifted to social media, where battle lines were drawn. But the discussion wasn't limited to Carrie's admirers. While some viewers criticized the presenters for making personal attacks, others applauded them for speaking their minds. As the clamor on social media grew, other celebrities jumped in to lend their support as it became clear that Carrie wasn't just sitting back after the controversy seemed to have peaked. Carrie Underwood shocked everyone by suing the program and its hosts for $100 million after she accused them of defamation. The lawsuit was a declaration that she would not let her reputation be harmed without a battle, not merely a response to offensive comments. The court records indicate that the hosts' remarks on the program damaged her reputation and career. They explicitly accused them of defamation, suggesting that their remarks went beyond their personal beliefs to include false and detrimental accusations about her patriotism and character. But it was more than words. According to Carrie's team, the presenters of the program deliberately distorted why she went to Donald Trump's inauguration, presenting her as someone who supported his ideas rather than someone who was simply performing. The financial repercussions of the scandal, such as missed sponsorship deals, postponed performances, and a decline in record sales, were highlighted by Carrie's legal team. According to their estimation, the $100 million was the amount of damages she suffered as a consequence of Joy Behar's comments.
I'll say this. What Joy is up to is nothing more than selfish personal publicity gain right now. She wants to attach her name to Carrie Underwood's name so that she maintains relevance because they know the ship is sinking.
The View is not a moral authority on anything. I mean, the day I look to Joy Behar for life advice is the day I retire.
It's as though the election never stopped for them. And they just cling to their hatred of Donald Trump, which is fine. I have no problem with that at all. But like a lot of these late night comedy shows that no longer have anybody watching them, and they're officially on cancellation notice because they're not going to survive with the numbers that they're getting, I don't think The View will survive ultimately either.
At stake is $100 million. Even the boldest opinions started to waver when the case was made public. The View presenter began to struggle behind the scenes. At first, the producers of the program were assured that the case would not proceed because of the possible damage and the weight of public opinion, but Joy Behar and her friends were trying to negotiate with Carrie. There were reportedly internal talks about apologizing publicly or possibly reaching a settlement to avoid going to court. Following discoveries, they had to reconsider their position on air, and the host's tone seemed to have shifted. Some disclosed that the softer approach in recent episodes was an attempt to express regret without admitting guilt, so the pressure wasn't limited to Carrie and her legal team. The case had gained a lot of media attention, and others criticized the perspective for being too extreme. The stakes were further increased by the prospect of a trial, which could expose production notes from internal communications or even off-camera conversations that could negatively portray the show if it went to trial.
The hypocrisy of all these people is just astounding, and look, it's just so wonderful to see them cowering and groveling like that.
Isn't it beautiful?
You know,
Oh,
the true
beautiful.
characters are coming out, that they've got no character, that they actually have no courage of their convictions.
Nothing.
Talk shows like The View operate in a gray area that blends entertainment, news, and analysis, even though the hosts are free to voice their opinions. As the legal drama unfolds, the fans have already taken sides, according to Carr's legal team, who argued that there is a difference between expressing an opinion and making baseless statements that damage someone's reputation. These people would never learn, someone said. I'm hoping Carrie Underwood doesn't give up on her lawsuit. We've all had enough of hearing disparaging comments about car enthusiasts, and the mean girls aren't doing anything to bring the country together, which is another reason why The View ought to be shut down. This is more than just a legal dispute. Many fans think that the goal of this case is to set boundaries so that celebrities aren't unfairly singled out for harassment in the entertainment industry.
News Sunny Hostin has to read 3 different legal notes to cover for their lies about Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth this week. The View and its hosts have become a serious liability for the ABC. At some point, it'll be cheaper to fire them and cancel the show, instead of continuing down the road of slandering people they don't.
For Carrie Underwood, clearing her name in this case is not as important as protecting her career. Since the View case threatens to undermine its foundation as a program built on open communication, a victory would send a powerful message that even the biggest media platforms must be held accountable for their remarks. This case may force them to reconsider how they approach controversial subjects. Not only could a judicial defeat be financially devastating, but it could also alter the scope of what talk shows are allowed to say. But this lawsuit is about more than just two sides. It's also about how to balance accountability and free speech, as well as the future of media personalities. If View prevails, it might strengthen talk shows' ability to criticize public figures without fear of legal repercussions. If Carr's lawsuit is successful, it might establish a precedent that changes how the public interacts with the media. The real question is whether this case will ever go to trial. There are rumors that a settlement has already been reached, with reports indicating that The View might prefer to settle this quietly rather than risk exposing internal communications during a trial. However, the Carr's team appears to take this all the way, indicating that they're prepared to fight them. Do you guys think that Carr's lawsuit is justified? Or are the hosts merely exercising their right to free speech? It's not just about headlines. It's about redefining boundaries in a time when the lines between opinion and defamation are more hazy than ever before. Fans are waiting, and the stakes are only going to get higher. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.